All right, let's get to these games, man. That was a really good weekend. We are expecting NFL. Listen to us. We're expecting a really good Final Four. Like, don't leave us at the altar now. Don't show us a good time the night before, and now we're at the altar and you're not there. Like, we expect a really good show this weekend. We got two games. This is the Final Four. First matchup, which we'll talk about first, it's the AFC Championship game. You have the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs at home coming off of that miraculous win against the Bills. They are now 7-point favorites at home. 54.5 is the over-under. Cincinnati in their last 5 games, they've covered the number every single time. And Cincinnati in their last 8 road games, they've covered that number 7 of those times. So they're a really good road team, and they're a really good team covering the spread, covering the numbers. For whoever that means, whoever out there who's listening, that means something to, there you go. There you have it. In Kansas City, in their last 5 games at home, they've covered the number every time. So this is, cover versus cover. Like, who's actually going to be able to, keep it within that number and obviously win the game. That's what matters most. And again, this is a 7-point matchup between the Bengals and the Chiefs. Chiefs being the favorite here. Over under, the total has gone over in 5 of Kansas City's last 5 games in general. And going back to what we talked about, if that game would have continued in overtime and been kind of like the college football rules where you can match as many times as possible, I think that game could have gone over 200 points. Am I wrong for thinking that?
No, you're right.
Legit. I don't think.
Probably so.
Probably so. Whoever would have had the ball last was going to be the victor. And I don't think any team would have been able to stop anybody, until the very end, of course. So, Kansas City, the last 5 games have all gone over, which I would imagine. I didn't even have to read that stat to know that. Do we have any other trends? Let me see. Anything else that really matters? Cincinnati in their last 6 games, they've won 5 of them. Cincinnati in their last 6 games against Kansas City overall, they've covered the spread 4 of those 6 games. For KC, let's go here. KC in their last 6 games at home, they've covered the number every single time. So that's even better than the stat I read earlier. Kansas City in their last 12 games overall, they are 11-1. So again, one of the hottest teams smoking in the NFL. I'm going to read a couple more stats. Again, we don't want to be too long on time, but I want to make sure we get this in, man. Not a lot of times you got only 2 games going, 4 teams total. So Final Four is here. I got to make sure we get these stats in. Offensively, the Bengals, they are 10th in yards total. Kansas City, they're 3rd. Passing yards, they are number 4 versus number 7. Kansas City being the leader there. They're 4th in the league at 281 passing yards per game. Rush yards, Kansas City 16th. The Bengals, they are 23rd in points per game. They are both top 7 in the NFL. So a lot of points I would expect are going to be scored defensively. Yards per game allowed, they're both in the 20s. Passing yards allowed, they're also both in the bottom 3rd. Rushing yards allowed, Kansas City, they're 21st in the league, and the Bengals, they're 5th. So the Bengals are much greater against the run than Kansas City. And then points per game allowed on defense, Bengals are right around the midpoint. They're 17th in the league. Kansas City, however, surprisingly, they are 8th in the league. They only allow 21 points per game. And then third down percentage, they're about equal there. So without further ado, our AFC Championship game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Fellas, let's pick the winner.
Who wants to go first?
Kyle, we'll begin with you. How about that?
Okay. Hey, all right. So Joey B is a bad man. I mean, this dude, just his swagger he's got, the leadership,
Cartier's on his face,
dude.
Shades on his face.
This dude is smooth, man. I become more of a Joey B fan more every single week. It seems like this kid wins. Obviously, coming from, he might have won the national championship at LSU, but he's still an OH boy. All right. Man, it's tough though, because the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They have the weapons. You see what they just did to the Bills. I mean, they've been doing this year in and year out ever since Patty Mahomes got there and took over the reign. As much as I want the Bengals to win, I think they can win. I think, shoot, they beat them the last, I think 3 out of the last 4 times they played each other. I'm pretty sure. So Cincinnati knows how to beat the Chiefs. Saying that, I have been really, really cold on all my bets. So because I want the Bengals to win, I am going Chiefs. I'm taking the safe pick, and I will be okay if I don't win that one.
Do Chiefs cover for you, Kyle?
Yes. Oh yeah. It's going to be a field goal game. Oh wait, Chiefs cover. No, Chiefs do not cover. I think Bengals cover. Chiefs win.
Okay.
Okay.
Hicks?
Well,
former Kansas City resident. How do you feel about this game?
Man, if you know about Kansas City, you know they love them Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, and I like the Chiefs too. My first original favorite team, though, was the Cincinnati Bengals. Boomer Esiason, and I used to have the jersey. I got the picture to prove it. But that's my mom's favorite team. On my other podcast, my friend used to always shout that out, like, "That's your mom's team." But
that's
really
your mom's team. There you go.
But anyway, man, Cincinnati's rolling. Like, the funny thing is, I could almost repeat every single thing Kyle said. But I mean, like, Cincinnati's rolling. Like, they got the pieces. They're gonna be back again. They're gonna be back in the fight again. But I just don't see Andy Reid's not gonna lose to the same team 2 times in a row. Patrick Mahomes isn't gonna lose to the same team 2 times in a row. They're high powered. This dude just fought a heavyweight fight and won. Whatever technicality, whatever, he won. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be hard, very hard for me to put my money on anybody but the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though I actually got a bet that if the Chiefs get eliminated, 2 of my friends bet me Kansas City and Tennessee versus the field. So if the Chiefs get eliminated, I win $100. But
you go.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay, for you, Hicks, do Chiefs cover the touchdown spread?
No way they covered it. 7 points. Chiefs probably barely get out of there. I say like Kyle, maybe even less than a field goal, man. Honestly.
All right, let's do this. I want you guys to predict the score for me. Hicks, you go first, and then Kyle, you go second. Hicks, what's your score for this matchup?
I'm going 28-27. Bengals miss an extra point.
I love it.
It's Bengals of them.
I'm gonna go with 42 to 39. Chiefs win on a last second field goal.
Okay, I like that. All right. Okay, so you got 49 to 47.
Who, me?
Yeah. Sorry, you literally just said it, but I was thinking about something else that I was going to do.
42 to 39. I want the Chiefs to win by 3.
Okay.
Does that math even work out? Can that even happen? 28, 35?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 30. Yeah, it could happen, I guess.
Or let's do this. This is better. 41 to 38.
That's better.
I know for sure that.
Yeah, that makes more sense. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, 38-41.
I don't know if that's a scoregami with what you had reference to.
I'm about to look up these odds on these
look that up.
scores too.
All right, so this is another question for you too. Passing yards. I'm looking at old mighty. I'm online right now. Good old FanDuel. Mahomes, does he go over 290 yards passing? They're both around the same mark. So Mahomes and Burrow. So Mahomes, does he go over 290 yards passing?
Oh yeah, dude. I think they're both going 350, man.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Especially if Tyrann Mathieu, we don't know if he's coming back or not yet. Ooh, we already saw that was a big hit for in that Bills game. So if he ain't come back it's gonna be a rough night. I mean, Joey B gonna hit that.
Let's do this. Outside the quarterbacks, and Hicks, I'm gonna let you answer. Outside of the quarterbacks, give me an MVP for this game. AFC Championship MVP. Outside the quarterbacks.
Can I say that I think Tyreek Hill is gonna burn it up, because he hasn't had one of those games that you sit back and be like, what in the fuck is going on right now? and that's still who he is. I saw a picture of that touchdown that he scored, and I didn't even realize
Chuck the Deuces.
He threw the deuces up to the dude.
My man was ahead of him.
In front of him.
He was ahead of him.
Dog, Tyreek Hill. I'm going to put my money on him for the MVP other than the quarterbacks.
I love it. Yeah. Outside of the quarterbacks, Tyreek Hill, just again on FanDuel right now online, his over/under for receiving yards is 76.5 yards. So I'm taking. I would imagine Hicks, if you had a gun to your hip, that you would take the over there. And then Kyle, for you, name an MVP outside of the quarterbacks for this matchup. Ooh. AFC Championship.
Hey, AFC Championship outside the quarterbacks. Hey, we had what was his name on the Bills? Was it Gates? Yeah, with 4 touchdowns last week.
Gabriel. I swear, man, I get on these shows and I forget. I know his first name is Gabriel Davis.
Davis, yes, that's what it is.
Gabriel Davis.
That man had 4 touchdowns, and I didn't really hear about him much all season. So saying that, I think anyone can really, out of how these games work, I mean, anyone can get it. I want to say
Jamar.
You know, that's who I was thinking, man. I mean, but I don't think you can win the MVP unless you win, right?
Exactly.
So if I think the Chiefs are going to win, man, I guess I'd have to go with Travis. Maybe Travis Kelce. I think he could also go off. I mean, these are pretty good. Pretty give or take, I guess. But yeah, I would pick Travis Kelce.
You would pick Travis Kelce. Okay. Well, you know what? Outside of the quarterback, if Coach T had to pick an MVP for this game, I already mentioned my guy. I'm going Jamar Chase. And you said it, Kyle.
Okay.
How you going to be MVP if you didn't win the game?
Oh.
Well, guess what? Yeah, you guessed it. I'm about to take them bingo boys. And I ain't talking about the Bayou Bengals, who I love from LSU. No, I'm talking about them up north Ohio Bengals. I'm taking Cincinnati in this matchup. Last time they played, which was second to last week? This is January 2nd. So this was week 17. The Bengals in Ohio, in Cincinnati, the Bengals won. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I know one of you guys mentioned that. You said that you don't think Andy Reid is going to lose twice. I think it was Hicks that said that. You don't think Andy Reid is going to lose twice, huh? You think it's unimaginable for him to lose twice to the same team, right?
He generally doesn't lose after bye weeks. He doesn't lose to people twice a lot.
That's true. You know, one thing I do know about Andy Reid, and I got love for Andy Reid because when I was undrafted to the Philadelphia Eagles, the head coach at that time was Andy Reid. Very sweet guy, man. Sweet, literally sweetheart. He is not the epitome of what you would think as an NFL hard-nosed, tough, I'm going to yell about everything head coach. No, like as chill as he looks on the sideline on TV, he's that chill in real life.
He has probably lost more divisional championships than any coach ever in history.
Thank you. Man, my guy, man. Thank you. That's teamwork right now. Thank you for the alley-oop. I'm about to slam dunk this thing, man. Listen here. Yes, Andy Reid, great coach. Super Bowl winning coach. One thing you do know about him, and you're an Eagles fan as well, so you definitely know this, he has to be up there as far as NFL coaches have lost the most amount of championship game. How do I even say this? Conference championship games in their coaching career. I think with the Eagles, I think he went to like 3 or 4 straight and lost every single one of them. Like I'm talking about with Donovan McNabb. Like I remember that Brian Westbrook. You remember that team, man. You remember them cats.
Actually, he won one. He lost
won
3
one.
in a row.
He did
won and went to the Super Bowl, and then lost.
Then lost. They lost to Tom Brady. I'm pretty sure they lost to Tom Brady because that's when T.O. was coming off of that ankle injury. Yep, when T.O. was coming off of that injury where it looked like he broke his ankle maybe a month before and came back like such a dog return
had like $160,
like $150. Yeah, like he was. Yeah. I saw that man in the arena. Like that showed me again how beastly Terrell Owens is. Is he in the NFL Hall of Fame?
Yes, he did not attend his ceremony.
Okay. I was about to say that needs to happen because I was thinking about the MLB. I know I'm down a rabbit hole, but come on, MLB, NFL, y'all got to start getting it right, man. Barry Bonds should be MLB Hall of Famer. He should be in the Hall of Fame, bro. Like I think he's a 7-time MVP. But
I'm not a baseball
chance
guy
of
at all. I have no idea about anything baseball.
Look, you don't have to be a baseball guy. Have you heard about Barry Bonds? Do you know how dominant he was?
I know all about Barry.
Exactly.
I know all about Barry.
Exactly. You don't have to be a baseball guy to know what Barry did. He the type of cat, bases loaded, they were walking him just so he don't hit a grand slam.
Or
who?
No, Sammy Sosa.
I don't think Sosa's in the Hall
No,
of
he's
Fame.
also not in. He probably won't get in the same reason Barry Bonds will also now not get in.
Roger Clemens, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's crazy.
Side question. Last question. This tangent. Did Barry Bonds actually ever get caught using steroids, or is it just like assumed that he was using steroids?
No, I think he did get caught. I'm not a big baseball guy either, but I'm pretty sure he actually got caught.
Okay.
I
could be wrong
That's
on
what
that,
I
though.
thought too. And I know it sounds square, whatever, but I guess I'm still in the old school thinking of athletics, where I'm like, look, I'm not saying everybody. Look, I used to cheat. I used to grab receivers, but when I get the penalty, I'm like, yeah,
got caught. You know what I mean? Got caught. Yeah, we kind of went down that rabbit hole, but that just maybe I don't know how we got there. Back to Andy Reid, back to his teams that he coaches. Yeah, Super Bowl winning, coach, great coach, but has lost a lot of conference title games. Okay, and it wouldn't surprise me if he lost this one. And it's not just him; his team kind of escaped the jaws of death last week, and now they're about to play the Cincinnati Bengals, who they lost to already. So I think the Bengals are stepping into this matchup thinking, hey, yeah, we may be young, but we're ready. I think that's what I'm going to be singing that on Sunday, man. I think the Bengals are rolling to this game thinking, yeah, we may be young. Yeah, we may have kind of, jumped the gun on where people think we would have been. But we got Joey Cigar. That's what I call him, Joey Beats, Joey Cigar with the buffs on his face. I'm from Michigan. Them Cartier glasses, I know we call them buffs. That he had them buffs on his face. I'm believing in the guy with the Cartiers on his face. You better believe it. So I'm rolling with Joey Cigar. I think he's smoking a cigar after this game on the 50-yard line. I think it's that real for that young man. So I'm rolling with the Bengals, man, because I think that they can score with the Chiefs. They've done it before, 31 to 34 last matchup. Over 60 points scored there. And in that matchup, in week 17, in the second half, because the Bengals were down at halftime 28-17. So they were down 11 points. In the second half, they held Kansas City to only 3 points. And they scored 17 themselves in the second half. So they can play defense. They can stop the run, which if you know how the Chiefs are starting to win these games over the last, 10, 12 weeks, it's the fact that they've been really balanced. They don't have to count on Mahomes doing everything. So teams aren't just teeing off with the defensive ends and they ain't bringing 4 and 5 guys on the rush, knowing that they're going to pass every down. Chiefs have been able to run the ball effectively. The Bengals, I think they can slow that running game down. I think they can force the hand of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and say, you know what? Y'all going to have to throw the ball. And Eric B, by the way. Shout out to him. He should have a head coaching job soon, man. If he doesn't, that's a travesty. But I think that the Bengals can really slow down their offense. Speaking of the Chiefs, and I know the Bengals can score with them. And look, we talking about Hall of Fame. I want to know where I can put my money down. I want to know what the odds are that Jamar Chase is going to be a Hall of Famer, because the stuff he putting up, the numbers he doing, like, he is uncheckable, and he's playing with what I think is already on his way, a Hall of Fame quarterback. So Joe Mixon is in there. He's been running the ball, toting the ball well. Had a really good game against Tennessee. Knocked off the team I thought would be in that title game. So they shut me up last week. So I'm rolling the train, man. I'm rolling with this team. And again, Joey Cigar, man, with the buffs on his face. I'm rocking with him, man. And I'm rolling with the Bengals in this matchup.